Hey, Neek, did I ever tell you what Charles Barkley told me when I tried to get him on the podcast?
What do you say?
He said, "Look, man, I'm just over here trying to get drunk with my friends." What's up, y'all? It is Monday, April 8th, 2024. We are the HoopStorians. I'm Tony Styles. That's my man, Unique, over there.
What up?
You want we want to get into this day in NBA history.
Let's do it.
Let's do April 8th, 1993. Golden State's 122-116 overtime win over the visiting Los Angeles Lakers gave the Warriors coach Don Nelson his 750th career victory and eighth NBA coach to reach that plateau. First off, one, why don't you think people give Don Nelson more credit for being an innovator in the game through his coaching, such as running like a three-guard lineup when we were more so focused on forwards and bigs and stuff like that back then?
I mean, I can't answer the question to why people are sleeping on Dunn. I mean, that's a question better posed to the people that don't want to acknowledge it.
Do
I
you think he's a
remember,
great coach?
yes, I thought Dunn was a very good coach.
Then my
I
next
thought
question
he
is this.
was.
Then my next question is, you know how baseball managers wear the uniform and all that?
Mhm.
If we were to do NBA coaches wearing the jersey and shorts combo, would Don Nelson be the worst one in that? Or would you have somebody worse than that?
Wow. I don't even know how to judge that. I don't know because some of these coaches are actually really, really old too. So it's not even just a matter of being out of shape. Some of them just, they get that coaching job when they like 60. So no, I think by the time you're a coach, I think most of them don't belong in shorts and jerseys anymore. I think most players that go into the coaching afterwards, I think most of them, once you become a coach, you need a suit. Very few of them can still throw on, the
So do you think
numbers
we
and
should
the jerseys.
do you think we should have baseball managers too? They need a suit?
No, because the way the baseball uniform is constructed is a little different. You feel me? They got on pants and like a button-up shirt. You feel me? That's almost the same as a suit. It's like a uniform, whereas the jerseys, which is a uniform, but at the same time, we're talking shorts now. We're talking like basically like cut off. We're talking it's showing off more flesh and everything like that. So nah, I think the baseball uniforms are designed a little differently. I think they're more designed for any weight, whereas basketball, they're pretty much designed for a certain body type or certain body types, I should say, within.
Well, that was unique on body types and this day in NBA
Yeah,
history.
duh.
First off, I got a question to ask you. Do you think? Wait a minute, wait, this is a good one right here. What about NFL coaches putting on pads in the helmet? Could you see Rex Ryan with the chin strap and the protruding neck? That would be crazy if we would have
That'd
the
be
Rex
ridiculous.
Ryan. One. Although before we get into it today, I just want to say this. I personally think with the national championship going on right now, our ratings are going to get killed on the show tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, of course. What you mean?
I'd rather
It
watch us in the
happens.
national championship, wouldn't you?
It happens. No, I'd rather watch us not playing. I mean, I get it. It's the championship. You feel me? We ain't out here
Yeah,
playing. We talking.
no, I feel you on that. You can watch us anytime. It's what do you think it is about watching live games? Like, if you watch the national championship game on a Tuesday tomorrow
Mhm.
instead of Monday, even if you don't know the where, why is it just not the same? What do you think that is?
The feel is different. So, the emotion, the excitement, all of those things are kind of watered down when you watch it after. When you're watching it when it's happening, you're a little more invested. You feel me? The shots, the possessions, and things like that, they mean more to you when you don't know what the outcome is going to be, when you haven't heard anything, when you know nothing about what's going to occur. So, I think that's kind of why. I don't think it can be a nail biter if you already know what the outcome is going to be. So that's why being able to watch and see everything live, see everything real time is what it is.
So I guess Edie's having a good game, but Purdue's losing. I wasn't watching. I was talking to Jay Williams at the at the Final Four right now, and that's
Mhm.
who he picked. He picked Purdue to win, and he was talking about how good Edie was playing and all that. And I was like, yeah, but isn't UConn the best? And I don't watch college basketball, so this is just all second knowledge and all that, but
Mhm.
secondhand knowledge. But I was like, isn't UConn the most done? He's like, yeah, but Purdue, they got something magical this year, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. You want to get into ranking our MVP list? This will be our third episode doing it. Hopefully, we could finish up here at this one. I got through the C list last week. You want to get into that one? Get into the B's?
Yeah, let's get into the bees, I suppose. Bees in the trap.
The first person I have coming in is Willis Reed. Like I said, we have to establish this once again. There are no bad MVPs. Even if you don't deserve to win the MVP that year, maybe somebody won it over you. There are no bad seasons winning MVPs. Um, So the number one I have is 1970 Willis Reed. As we're getting down to the nitty gritty, it's getting harder and harder to rank these players. So
Mhm.
I have 1970 Willis Reed, and it's really just one simple reason why out of everything. He won the title, but he only dropped 4 points in Game 7. I know it's a player, but like I said, I like to take the totality of the award, and we've never seen that more than the 2007 Dirks MVP, where they wish that they would have given it to Nash instead after he got bounced in the first round. I mean, he scored the first 4 points of the game. Very iconic. Definitely a highlight and all that. But he just kind of had low stats. And what's up, Killer Cam? What's good to you too?
Killer.
Um, Cookies and apple juice. But yeah, it's just low stats for me. That's the only knock I can really have on him. Other guys have won the title too. They have the MVP award. They have better stats. What about you? Got any problem with Willis Reed coming in?
No, 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 that's fine. I mean, because I understand completely. So, even though you're MVP, doesn't necessarily mean your stats were incredible. I mean, sometimes they will be, but when you underperform, you end up on a beat list.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know if it's underperforming. That's what's crazy. He was what 22 and 14. It's just not as good as the other performances. I think we got to go
That's
with
fair.
that.
That's fair.
Oh, who you got after that? You want to go after that? You want to give me the next one? Who you got? Who would you think coming in after Willis Reed?
All right. So I'm going with Russell of 61. Russell 61, he's giving you 16 points a game, 23 rebounds, almost 24, and 3 assists. I mean, their record that season was 57 and 22. They were first in the Eastern Division. The reason why I have him on the B list, however, as an MVP is that season he had a couple different players that were ahead of him in points on his team, so he wasn't the go-to for points. I mean, he was their go-to obviously for rebounds, but you have Tom Hindson giving you 23. I mean, I'm sorry, not 23, 21 points a game, also giving you 9 rebounds. And then you got Bob Cousy giving you 18 and 7 assists. So that's why he made the list for me. The B list, I
Well,
should say.
well, Woody said Pettit got robbed in 61 on the MVP. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll give Bob a call next time I talk to him.
Let him know.
Uh, I will. I do plan calling him around his birthday. Thank you for coming on the pod and all that. So, but yeah, I'll let him know about the getting robbed in 61. No, I had Bill a little higher. I understand why. Really, so when we're separating this, and it kind of sucks because it's just his era, and that's just what happened. To me, too, though, with the MVP, winning 2 rounds isn't as impressive as winning 4 rounds, and that's all it took to win a title back then. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And when we're just separating MVPs and we got to split hairs and do that, so I mean, yeah, I had him a little higher, but yeah, I definitely had him in the B section. So next up after that, I got 80 Kareem. 80 Kareem was he was great, 25 and 11 with 5 assists, 3 blocks. I'll be honest with you, as a big dominant 24, I mean, if we're getting really, really technical, 24.8, 10.8 rebounds, one of Kareem's, not one of his peak seasons. As far as MVP goes, a little lower on the stats, and more so the major reason is they were able to secure the title without him. So
Hmm.
maybe he really wasn't the most valuable on that team. I personally think he is. I'm not gonna try to say that, but I'm saying I could see where the argument could be made, saying, well, Magic was the one that spurred them. They were losing in first and second round matchups before Magic got there. He immediately took them to the finals. So I have him next. You got any comments on that season by Kareem?
Um, I mean, I think you pretty much summed it up. Whenever you can have someone come, and it's kind of like the same thing where I was saying earlier, where it's just like you can be a dominant player, you can have good stats, or you can get an MVP and not necessarily be the biggest asset on the team. So
Mm-hmm.
I know you're supposed to be, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. Sometimes your stats and your numbers just look so great to where you get the award, or sometimes it's just your turn. So no, I get it. I understand.
I feel you.
What
Well, we got
Magic
like
is doing is beautiful, so it makes
well,
sense.
I feel you. But we still got a lot to go because, like I said, I'm trying to get the I'm trying to get this MVP or Tara. Who you got next?
Okay. So who I have next is who we just went through
Oh,
career.
real quick, I agree with Woodage right here. Dominant NBA Finals, 33 and 16. Didn't play in that game 6, which I think hurts him, and that's what I was going with too. So to me, it's a B tier MVP, but I could see someone else. Who else you got after 80 Jabbar?
Okay. So next who I'm going with is Russell again.
Which one we got?
Um I'm going with Russell 65. Now the record is good. I mean, I'm liking the 62 and 18 record.
Mm-hmm.
Them being first in the Eastern Division once again. This season though, he's only averaging 14 points.
Mm-hmm.
He did go up in rebounds up to 24. He is making 5 assists a game. This season, we have Sam Jones that's leading the team in points, and I mean, this is still doing the domination domination of the Boston Celtics. So they're winning. I mean, these are winning seasons, but at the same time, it's for me what he's contributing offensively. He's doing everything across the board, but at the same time, there's players that are bringing more to the table offensively for me. So that's really why. They're still freakish numbers, though.
Hey, fun fact about that year: they barely scraped by the Sixers in the I don't know what you want to call it, the first round, the Eastern Conference Finals, however you want to describe it back then. They won 4-3. They won 110-109. They won by a point. I mean, not Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain was awesome. 30 and 32. He went 12 for 15 on 80%. For some reason, Chet Walker got more shots than him. And if Wilt probably got more shots than Chet Walker, they probably win, probably break it up. That's why that's one of Bill's B seasons to me as well. Also, the low field goal percentage, like you said, the 14 points, the only winning 2 rounds. And it's just not an epic thing. And like I said, it's splitting hair. I feel bad about ranking these people like that, really, because I mean they're still awesome seasons. Like I got a nitpick. I got to nitpick why I don't got them as the greatest ever.
And
So
that's crazy because, like, to say these things, it almost has to come with a disclaimer because it's like you said before, we don't want anybody to get it wrong.
yeah,
Nobody's saying that these players, I mean, to get MVP, don't mistake what I'm saying. You had to do something. You had to show up. You had to prove something to the league, the all of those that love the sport, everything like that. It's just not every MVP season is created equally.
yeah, no, definitely. Okay, so up next I got 74 I got 74 Kareem.
For Kareem. Okay.
Yeah, I got 74 Kareem, and the reason why is first off, I thought for a Kareem MVP season, I'm not saying it was bad or anything like that, but once again, we have seen better. Like Woody just said, Kareem at his peak is like a 34-17 guy. This year, Kareem, he's 27, 15, and 5, about 4 blocks, which I know sounds awesome, but for Kareem peaks, it's a little bit down. Also, too, I feel like they underperformed against the Celtics in the 74 playoffs as well.
Mhm.
That is the main reason. It didn't cap in a finals. It didn't cap in a championship. It also didn't count as a they did lose in the finals, but I mean, it didn't count as a championship, and it's just kind of a down MVP season from what we've seen as Kareem. And when we get to the A block, I mean, I have some A block Kareems, and you will see the difference between an A Kareem season and a B Kareem season, and I think that's about the real reason why. Also, too, I believe they lost Game 7 by like 15. They scraped by, barely won Game 6 by 1. Um, and they had home court advantage. So I feel like they kind of, for lack of a better term, they shit the bed in that regard. So I mean, that's why I got to knock him. Nothing wrong with his 74 season whatsoever. You got anything you want to comment on it?
No, I mean, you're kind of making the points that I would make, so no.
I got you. All right, well, give me who you got next.
So who I have next is probably gonna throw you. I actually have I have Mike of 88 on my list as a B lister.
Okay.
What the heck? Oh, all right. So in 88, even though Mike is giving us 35 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, which he led the league in. He's shooting 53% from the field. He's also giving us a block a game, got defensive player of the year. It's really the record. They had a 50-32 record that season. They ended up second in the Central Division. What's incredible though is the fact that while Mike is averaging 30, wait, what was it? As he's averaging 35, I mean, the closest scores to him is Sam Vincent with 13, Charles Oakley with 12.4, and Dave Corzine with 10.1. So he was
So
holding it down.
you're saying it was the '01 Philly Iverson model.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what he was dealing with. And you see where Iverson ended up ranking. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why.
I
So
got you.
it was a great statistical year for Jordan, but it didn't equate to exactly the type of success you want to see for the MVP that season.
But we did see a trajectory upward that we're going to keep seeing because that was the first year he ever got out the first round. He did
Yes.
round into the Pistons. They got beat by them in 5. So yeah, no problem with that. Next up after that, I got a Wilt Chamberlain 68 season. He went 24 and 24 with 9 assists, shot 60%. And it's a B level thing because they were the defending champion. In 67, they were arguably the greatest team of all time at 68 and 13. They had home court advantage against the Celtics. They dropped game 1. Every game was a tight series. They lost game 7 at home. They also, and except for one game, and the Celtics blew them out by 18, 20, 22, somewhere in there. I want to say it was like game 4 or something like that. But yeah, the Celtics got the only blowout win. So that's why it's that Wilt. It seemed like he turned a corner and winning, and then he kind of reverted back to his old ways, losing in 7 to Bill Russell. So that's why I got 68 Wilt at that in the B group. Yeah. Who's your next person? Break it down for me.
Okay. So my next person I have is 66 Wilt.
Okay, yeah, I got 66 Wilt in my B group too.
You got 66 Wilt. Okay. So 66 Wilt. Once again, incredible numbers. What more do you expect out of Wilt Still? He's giving you 33 points a game, 24 rebounds, 5 assists. They finished with a record of 55 and 25. He did lose in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Got his ass whooped, and
Yeah,
that's their first round in 5, and that's why I got Wilt in my B group too.
yeah,
It's the
that's
ass whooping. It is
yeah,
just it
that'll
is the
do it.
absolute ass whooping of what that was, and yeah, it was crazy. It was, hold on, so they lose to the Celtics, and then hold on, what was it? And then let me pull it up because I want to make sure I get this right. Come in game 1, they lose by 19. Game 2, they lose by 21. Game 3, they scrape by 6, and then they lose the next 2 by 6 and 8. They were the number 1 seed, and they lost their first 2 games at home by 40. By 40. Now I know it's a regular season award, but you want your MVP to show up in the playoffs, do you not? And when they're not doing that as he's averaging 34, he goes 23 points on 21 attempts on 43% in game 2. Game 1, as I pull it up right here, because like I said, I want to make sure I got the numbers right. I don't want to misquote. He had 25 points on 47% shooting. It's where were these 30-point games when we need you in the playoffs?
And that's when it matters most. I mean, it's good to, kill it all season and you will get that accolade, you'll get that award. But at the end of the day, they're doing this because they want the title. The majority of them are playing because they want the title. So when you put in all of that work for the season and then you just get blown out in the finals, yeah, you might be somewhat patting yourself on the back because you had this great individual season, but you're definitely gonna feel that sting of not making it to the finals like you want, or not making it to the chip like you wanted to and walking away with it.
How much for an ultimate MVP season does the chip matter? Do you think that's the icing on the top, even though it's a regular season award?
It would be the icing on the top because when you have an MVP season, essentially what you want to do at the end of that is walk away with the title as well. You want your MVP season to equate to a title. That was the reason why you went so hard as to become MVP that season. You wanted to assure that you were the best player, or you put your team in the best potential position to win that championship. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand. When you're shooting for MVP, I think you're also shooting for the title. Just my opinion, but that's definitely what I think.
No. I feel you. So up next, I have 72 Kareem. So 72 Kareem. It's crazy. He unbelievable stats. He's 35, 17, and 5 assists, and he's probably about six blocks to at this point in time, but we're not keeping track of blocks. It's more
Right.
so it's the unbelievable. It's just more so the playoff series against the 72 Lakers. And then it's also, but and then it's one of those weird things where you can't really fault him on 72 because he did go up against arguably the greatest team in 69 and 13, but it was Oscar Robertson, and we kind of blame I kind of blame Oscar for this. I agree, Kareem's Bucks years were so crazy. I kind of blame. So this was Oscar's last MVP season. I mean, I'm sorry, Oscar Robertson's last All-Star season, and in the playoffs against the if you think All-Star Oscar Robertson, what do you think those numbers are in the playoffs?
All Star Oscar Robertson.
Yeah,
Um,
in the playoffs when it matters, what do you think he's putting up?
since he's a triple double guy, I'm thinking.
Now he is a little bit
I
older
say
here
I
too.
say
He's
30.
33.
Huh?
Now he is a
You
little bit
said
older though too. He's a little bit older too because this is his last All-Star. He's 33, and that's an old
okay.
33 back in the 70s. So, but
So
he's
I'm gonna
still an
go with
All-Star.
um guessing. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with 27, 10, and 9.
Okay. So in that series, he averaged 9, 5, and 6 on 36% shooting.
9, 5, and 6.
Uh huh.
Jeez.
But the friend of the podcast, Mr. Bobby Dandridge, who will be on tomorrow, he gave us 19 and 11 in that series. It was crazy that series. They had three dudes averaging at least 10 and a half rebounds. They had Kareem, Curtis Perry, and Bobby Dandridge averaging 18, 16, and 11 basically. So I have to put him in the B category. Great stats, no title. And to me, if you to me, so many people have won the title as an MVP. When you got to get into that A group, you got to win the championship with the MVP. I think to be in the A group. Would you agree?
I feel it definitely helps. Like you gotta have some crazy phenomenal season, or it has to be something going on with that particular era of time, in my opinion. But yeah,
All right, who you got next after who you got next after we got 72 Kareem?
after after 72 Kareem, I actually want to go with 64 Oscar.
Me too.
Okay, cool. At this point, he's given us 31 points a game, 9 rebounds, 11 assists. Let's see, the season record, they had a 55 and 25 season, won the semifinals. They did lose, however, in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Got smoked.
Got
Got
yeah,
smoked.
lost
Got
pretty
smoked
bad.
4-1. Here's part of the thing too. To me, I understand if the how can I put this? I understand in the playoffs if the efficiency goes down, and I understand because now in the playoffs you're playing nothing but the best teams. So I
Mhm.
understand the efficiency going down. However, though, in the playoffs your numbers are supposed to rise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're trading efficiency for numbers rising because your minutes are going up. We trust you with the ball more, especially when you're one of the greatest of all time. Um, and yeah, and
And
like I said,
again,
this
this is
sucks.
what you train all season for.
Right.
This is what it's all for. It does not make sense to go hard for 82 games and then you get to the playoffs, you get to the finals, whatever, and you're what, depending on how long of a stretch you have to go through, what 9 to like 16 games away from a title. You already
Hmm.
did it. You already went through 82. Just knock these out.
But then too, you got to factor in, and like this is where he is. So he's going up against the Celtics. Obviously the best team in the league. He's 28, 10, and 6. The numbers drop. The shooting drops to under 40%. He's playing 47 minutes a game. So it's not like the number should drop because the minutes weren't there. 47 a game. So that's why amazing season by Oscar, but the team success didn't equal as well. So that's why I got 64 Oscar. You got anything you want to add as well?
Mm, no, I mean, no, I mean, we already said it all as far as that season goes.
So the next person I got up next is 85 Bird. I got 85 Bird. 85 Bird won 3 titles in a row. I'm sorry, he won
Three,
three
title three
MVPs in a row.
MVP.
Three MVPs in a row. He won 2 titles out of those 3 MVPs, and 85 is the one that he did not win the title with. And which sucks is because, and this is why I'm going to factor in, 85 Bird was his best numbers out of all his MVPs. He was 29, 11, 7, 2 steals, a block, 52% from the field, 43 from three, 88 from 88 from the line. He just didn't win the title, and that's why I have him down there as that. Um, and not only that, they didn't win the title. I don't understand. They did the what was it? The Memorial Day Massacre. They won game 1 by 34 points, and then proceeded to lose 4 out of the next 5. And then game 6 wasn't really that competitive. It was 111, 100. Um, yeah, and then what was that game too? They lost by like 30, 25, 30 in one of the games against the Lakers. So it's really more so the team success is why. And then not only that too, the production dropped in the finals as well. Like I said, I ran off the numbers 29, 11, and 7. In the finals, he's 24, 9, and 5. He was shooting 52%. Now he's only shooting 45. Kevin McHale outscored him that finals as well. So I just don't think it was really his best finals as well. And so just for the MVP season, I got to put him there. 85 Bird. Uh, Anything you add? You agree? Disagree? Where we at on it?
I mean, aside from, I mean, everything that you said, the only thing that I would add is it upsets me being born in 85 that he chose that year to lose during his MVP nomination. But,
But he gave you good. But he gave you good numbers.
he gave good numbers. So I guess,
He
that's
gave you
something.
some.
I
Who you got?
I wanted to chip Larry Legend, but at the same time, like Lakers too. So what can you do?
Who you want next? Who you got next?
All right, all right. So next up, I am going with Wilt the Stilt of 1960.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, this is crazy in the first season to be averaging 37 points. I mean, the 2 assists isn't really that crazy, but the 27 rebounds is.
Mm-hmm.
He broke multiple records that season, of which points and rebounds. 43 points. He had 43 points and 28 rebounds in his first game. Led the league in minutes this season. And then he led the Philadelphia Warriors to a 49 and 26 season. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good for a first year out.
Well, I do want to say this. So 60 Wilt is a legendary season, and everybody should memorize that season because he is the first person ever to be Rookie of the Year and NBA MVP as well. One Wes Unseld did it what was it, 9 years later or whatever that was. But I don't think Wes Unseld was really the MVP that year. Um, they gave it to him because of the 57 and 25 he put up. Uh,
Mm,
I got Wilt in the B group because White is a legendary season as far as MVP goes. They lost to Boston in 6. His numbers went down throughout it. He went 31 and 28, shooting under 50% in the free throws. So it's really more so the championship. It's also the way that in some of those games, I mean, they were just getting their ass kicked. Like, they got blew up by 30 in one game. So yeah, I got Wilt in the B group as well. Coming up next after that, I have 63 Bill Russell.
okay.
Bill Russell, that was 17 and 24 with Bill Russell. I believe that's Bob Cousy's last season as well. 17 and 24. They won the title. This is where we start getting into title MVPs too, but they're really coming in low as well. It's just that it was the stats were low. It was the scoring was low. It was the field goal percentage was low. Um, I do believe that if you're factoring in stats, you have to value scoring, and then on top of it, you have to value efficient scoring as well as more so, because scoring is how you win the game. The goal is to outscore the opponent. So the more you can score, the more efficient you can score, is the more likely you win the game. So that's my only knock on Bill that year. And like I said, I feel bad about doing it, but I got to put somebody in the B group after that. Speaking of which, too, just to end the B group as well, um, uh, I got 62 Bill Russell, and then we're moving into the A's. Same thing. It's the same exact speech with 62 Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Uh, just low scoring. I mean, 19 and 24, 46%. They win the title. Nothing like that. You want to talk about 63 Bill, 62 Bill? You got anything to add?
I mean, he went through a stretch where his numbers are pretty similar. Like, points might jump up like two or three for the most part, but his numbers
Same
are,
range.
yeah, they're the same range. So he just gave you like just a consistent, like, just for that stretch. It looks like,
Just a consistent about 17 and 24.
yeah, I was about to say
17,
something like
18
that.
to
Yeah.
24, however you want to say it.
So again, it
About
just
four
went how
assists,
it
five
is.
assists.
This is why he's a legend, just to consistently do this and bring home the championships. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the A group. You want to go first? Who you got is the lowest member of your A group?
Okay. Uh, I'm not liking this one. Whew. The lowest member of my A group, I have LeBron James. I have LeBron James of 2013.
Okay.
Uh, just make sure I got my numbers here. All right, so LeBron this season, he's given us 26 points a game, 7 assists, 8 rebounds. He went on that 6 game stretch where he was scoring 30 or more on 60% from the field. Miami got off to a 27 straight game win. Um, he was
Second
shooting
longest
50.
ever.
Right. He's shooting 57 from the field that season, 41 from three. He ended up second in rankings for Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
He received the most votes from the coaches who actually were setting up their teams and setting up their defenses to compete with him and defeat him. So they had to respect what he was bringing to that season and give him his respect and give him his proper.
So wait a minute. So my question is then, why do you have him at the lowest tier of the A group?
So the reason why I have him at the lowest tier group is because let's see, that season, I mean, he did join with Miami. He did go with Wade where, he got that extreme help. It was for me,
So
it
you're
was
sa-
almost like a peak. Hmm?
so you're saying that year, because 13, that would have been his third year there as well. So you're saying that was like a cheat code, though? That's what you're thinking?
Yeah, that's really the reason why. Me personally, I mean, and even when KD did it. as a Warriors fan, I appreciated him going there, but I felt the same way about KD that I felt about LeBron. I felt like they took a cheat code, and it's not really to knock them, you feel me, because they still had to show up. But I feel as though we see the difference. And what was his first MVP? 08, 09,
Oh, 9.
09. All right, we see a difference. You feel me? And what he was able to accomplish going to Miami than what he did in Cleveland. And then he came back to Cleveland and was able to duplicate and do what he did in Miami. So the point I'm making here is he could have stayed in Cleveland and realistically had the same type of career, but I feel like he took the easy way out. I felt like he took the cheat code. So that's the reason why.
Yeah, I got the reason why I would have LeBron, and I have in my lower A levels too. I didn't have 13 LeBron or whatever, but if you want to have LeBron, I had about mid, maybe mid to lower. Um, but if you have LeBron, my really thing is the struggles with the Pacers in the conference finals. You know, why is a 47 win team taking a 66 win team to seven games? Also, too, like you
Mhm.
said, when you have a Wade, a LeBron, a Bosch, and all you have is a third year Paul George, a past his prime David West, a
Yeah,
good point guard in George Hill, but not a superstar. They just didn't have any superstars, any collection of superstars. And Roy Hibbert was giving him defense, giving him all kinds of defensive fit. And about 3 years later, Roy Hibbert could no longer play in the league. So you guys were having trouble figuring out Roy Hibbert, and this is a guy that's not even going to be in the league in a couple of years. And not because he's old, just because the league has no place for him. So that would be my argument for 13 LeBron. I have the next person coming in. We got to go 98 Jordan.
98 Jordan. Okay.
We got to go 98 Jordan. And I know he got all the accolades, but like I said, most people in inside circles knew he was leaving. He got an all-star game MVP. He got the finals MVP. He got all kinds of accolades. But if you watch that Jordan compared to definitely prime, that Jordan is a shell of prime Chicago Jordan. He's 29 a game. He's 6 rebounds. He's 3.5 assists. Why Michael Jordan shouldn't be getting you 3.5 assists? His field goal every year that he came back from his field goal percentage, his points, his numbers just kept dropping. 46.5%. And if they didn't play the Jazz, who only scored 54 points in one game in that finals, still an NBA record. I don't think they. I think if they would have played a better, more prepared team, I don't know if they would have won the title. They were running on fumes. All of them mentioned that, and it's just by far the weakest Jordan MVP season. I only have him in the A group because, like I said, all of the accolades. He checked every accolade box. He won a title. He hit the iconic shot. There's just so many other factors in that make it go into the A's. But when you just look at the numbers and what Jordan could produce, it is just such a down season for what Jordan was.
Mm, this is fair.
Who you got after that?
I don't like this. I don't like this list at all, bro. Um, they're gonna be mad at me for this one. All right, so I have Magic up 87. This is his first MVP. He was able to, like we were talking about Bird earlier, how Bird went on that run where he got 3 in a row MVPs. Magic came and snatched this one. Like, nah, let me go ahead and hold that one for you.
3 out of
Um,
4, except for your boy 88 Jordan.
yeah, yeah. And this season, Magic has given us 23, almost 24 points a game. He was shooting a good 52.2% from the field, also giving us 12 assists. He was giving us 6 rebounds. He was the first guard to win since Oscar Robertson had done so in '64. Um, this season, they went ahead and had it looks like 65-17 season for a record for the season to finish number
They
one in the Pacific.
they argue that's Magic's best Lakers team. I don't know if I would go that. I don't know if I'd say. You know what? When we have because we got Bob McAdoo coming on in a couple of weeks, and obviously he won titles with the Lakers and stuff. I want to ask him that's got to be one of the top questions. What do you think was the best Lakers team? Because
Brett,
I think when you had Kareem at center, and then your backup was an MVP in McAdoo. and McAdoo wasn't on the team by then. I mean, that's pretty good. You had Magic, Kareem, and Bob McAdoo. That's 3 MVPs on a team. And I don't know if we've had 3 MVPs on a team before. Might
I
have been,
know,
but I don't know.
I know with the Lakers, that's
Oh, I
gonna
take that
be
back.
one of the.
Lakers 04. 04 Lakers had 3 MVPs too. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. But
Mhm.
with the Lakers though, that's gonna be one of them questions that come up often. I guess the same with Boston. You know, that's one of those teams, and even Golden State, that's gonna be one of them. Which team is the best? Because they have so many great teams. They have so many legendary teams and legendary players that have come through the organization to where it's not that easy to figure that one out.
Hey, bro, as me and you sat and went through every Lakers team ever to try to figure out which one was the best, I mean, I would think you got a pretty good idea of it because as we got at the end, you know what I mean? Like it was hard picking one over the other, just like this
Yeah.
is now. The next up I have is I'm going to go ahead and go 2012 LeBron, 27, 8, 6, 2, 53%. They won the title. No player. Really, what it was is, it just wasn't a dominant playoff run. Uh, Carmelo and the Knicks beat them in one game in the first round. It was crazy. After that, LeBron, let's see, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2007. LeBron had 5 straight years of sweeping teams. He went 20-0 at one point through a 5-year period in the first round. Didn't lose one game until then they barely scraped by the Pacers in 7 in the first round in 18. But
Mhm.
what was crazy is so they beat the Knicks in 5, and it was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. The Knicks were down 3-0. They won game 4, and streamers and shit started coming down as they were down
Yeah,
3-1 going back to Miami. I mean, Bello and them, they're celebrating. And I was just like, this is going to sound mean, but I don't know any other way to say it. This is what I say. I was like, what kind of loser ass shit is this? This is what you guys are down 3. What wires are streamers coming out? You know what I mean? Like it was crazy. Then after that, they were down 2-1 to the Pacers in the semifinals. Boston had them down 3-2, which a lot of people say probably LeBron's best game, Game 6, where they ended up winning in 7. And then they beat the Thunders. It just wasn't the dominating playoff run that I would like from an MVP of an A group. That's why he's at the
Mhm,
lower end of it.
mhm.
So that's why I have next. I have 2012 LeBron. Who you got? Who you got after that?
Okay. So I was torn between who I was gonna say next and the person I'm going with. I think I'm gonna go with Shaq. I'm actually gonna go with Shaq of 2000. Now, when we speak in terms of domination, what Shaq was doing was ridiculous. During this period, Shaq pretty much had that unguardable little mini hook that he was doing. Shaq was great with the pick and rolls. He was good with his hands. Shaq is averaging 29 points this season, giving you 13 rebounds and 3 assists as the big. Um, he was a vote shy of winning unanimous MVP that season. He
Which he
led the
should have.
league. He should have.
Where it
He
should
led,
have.
he led the league in scoring, led the league in field goals, led the league in field goal attempts and field goal percentage. He was second in rebounds total for the season. Uh, he was fourth in field goal attempts, so third in block shots with 3 a game. So yeah, Shaq was just putting in work everywhere. He was the best player on the title team. Uh,
So hold on, I gotta give you some pushback on that because I had Shaq at the upper echelon of the A group. So my question: are you fucking high? Like what are we talking here? Like you got to you got to tell me why he's lower on the A group. You got to tell where are we going with this?
I mean, to be honest, he's not necessarily. I mean, it's the A group. You feel me? I didn't
I know, and we're
necessarily.
ranking him lower, but that's what I'm saying. Like, give me why. What's the pushback?
It wasn't really that I felt like there was anybody that was necessarily that much better than him in the A group. It's just
Mm-hmm.
for me. I guess what was their season record?
67 and 15.
7-15. All right, so we've seen. I mean, that's a very good record, but we have seen slightly better records than this. Not too many, but we have seen him. Like I said, even though he was the best player on a title team, he did have the legend of Kobe Bryant that was playing with him as well. Um, he had a lot of actual role players that all contribute in many different ways to go with his domination. So it wasn't just a Shaq dominant team, even though Shaq was one of the most dominant players in the league at that point in time. He didn't just have to win with his domination. He also had a lot of help. He has the coach of Phil Jackson. Like I said, he has multiple contributing contributing assets on his team. So that's why he just so
So
happened to be the best player on a good team.
yeah, like I said, we got to get you some pushback on this one. Um, so I got Shaq much higher. Like I said, if you got him lower, like I said, he won 67. My pushback for him would be the struggles in the playoffs. The Kings, the eighth seeded Kings, should have never pushed him to 5. There's a serious argument if it wasn't for some whatever meltdown that was, the Blazers should have won the title. But Shaq in the finals averaged 38 and 17 on 61%, where Kobe was averaging 15 on 36% shooting. That was a complete carry job. And what's messed up is Kobe had the good game 4 after Shaq fouled out, and that's what we remember from that finals. So that is the memory. That's the narrative that Kobe played like ass in that finals. He played awful in that finals. It was his worst finals ever. The only one that you could even compare to it would be the '04 Pistons. But yeah, Shaq completely carried them that finals. So yeah, I would have Shaq much higher than that. But like I said, we are in the A group. It is what it is. Let's move on to the next. The next up I got is '03 Tim Duncan. '03 Tim Duncan is 23 and 13, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 51%. He is the team won 60 games, I want to say that year. Yeah, 60 games. Um, had an awesome game. They say it's a missed quadruple double in the game 6 finals. The only reason why I have him lower on the lower list of the A group is one, two reasons. One, the stats were low, 23 and 13 for A group stats. And B, they didn't dominate anybody in the finals. We saw Shaq and we saw a fatter Shaq in '02 completely sweep the Nets. The Nets got 2 games off of the Spurs that year. We saw Dirk Nowitzki go down with an injury, and we saw the Mavs winning games on the Spurs home floor, and it took a Steve Kerr save job. We The Lakers might have beat him that year if that Robert Horry shot didn't go in and out in Game 5. And then we saw the Suns, who were an A seed, and with Stephon Marbury, who's one of my favorite players. I'm going to show you this. Stephon Marbury is one of my favorite players ever, and he plays like shit in the playoffs. He can't make a shot. He can't quit shooting. He doesn't make him. He shoots awful. He shoots absolutely awful. Not that he's scared in the moment. He just don't do it well in the moment. So that's what it is. Every series was 4-2, low stats. So that's why I got '03 Duncan coming in at that. Who you got next?
Okay. This is kind of like Shaq. I'm coming in with Mike. The season
Which
that
one?
I'm going with of Mike's is the 92 season. Just
Okay.
like Shaq, this is a 67 and 15 winning team. Hey, what do you know? Coach Phil Jackson just keeps showing up on these good teams. Um,
69 and 13, 72 and 10, 61 and 21, 65 and 17. Those are some of Phil Jackson's records coaching.
yeah, Phil Jackson be putting in that work. As far as what Mike was giving us that season, just having some more stats. All right. So for the season of 92, we got Mike giving you 30 points a game. Um,
I got him
we
right
got
here.
6 rebounds. Oh, you got him? I was about to say, I just lost my
Yeah,
place.
you
So
got
he got
92.
30
Yeah,
points. He got 6 rebounds, 6 assists as well, 2 steals,
and a block.
and the block. He's shooting at 50%, really about 51% from the field. As far as team success, if you don't know, if you were under a rock, he ends up winning his second championship this season. To go in on pace for his first three-peat. So this is Mike feeling like I finally made it. His numbers aren't necessarily as great as every other title that he won, but these are still solid numbers. And like we were saying earlier, when you're MVP for a season, you also want that to equate to a title win. That's exactly what Mike was able to accomplish.
No, yeah, the only thing I would say is if we're doing that like where he's mid or like maybe a little below on the lower list is the Portland Trailblazers series. The Bulls were getting blown out. The bench made them come back. Mike came in, closed it out, and then that Knicks series. That Knicks team should have never pushed him to 7. Although that is the iconic series where Mike did hit the 6 threes in the first half, gave the shrug.
Yeah.
Um, so after that, okay, that's cool. Next up, I got 94 Hakeem.
Ooh.
94 Hakeem was 27, 12, 4, and 4, 2 steals. He was the defensive player of the year, obviously all NBA. The only reason why that I really have him down is just the playoff run to me was not that impressive. First off, against the Suns, they lose the first 2 games at home. They do fight back, but it's really much more so in that finals. Um, he was 27-9, and I don't think there should be a series where Hakeem's not getting you a double double. And then it's really just the 50%. But yeah, it's just the low numbers in the finals that really kept it down for me. And then the struggle against the Suns as well. But yeah, I got 94 Hakeem coming in next. Who you got after that?
Okay. So now this one I'm torn because back on my list I have MJ. Now the MJ I'm going with is actually Mike of the 96, another title team. The Bulls this season.
I
What
just
y'all
want to
think
say this.
about?
I am so with you on the as far as Mike's season goes. I think the 96 season is such an overrated season for him as what his production was. You know what I mean? Like the team was better, they won more, but we also had expansion where a lot more new teams. A lot of teams got diluted and stuff from expansion, and we usually see that, especially when it's a multi-team expansion, which 2 of them won. Which that means everybody lost throughout the league. 24 players got lost. You can only protect 8. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think by far Mike his first 3 season winning titles were way better than his last 3. But go on, why you got him?
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, his numbers look similar to like, it's typical Jordan fashion as far
But they're
as
like
what he.
5% worse
Yeah,
than his
so
peak years.
yeah, because what I was gonna say is, really what it is the field goal percentage did slightly slip, and that could have been due to, I don't know, the little break or the little time he had off.
Hmm.
I can't really say, I'm not in his skin, but because his field goals, I mean, not his field goals, his free throws was similar. He's about 83, 80, 82% from the free throw. So he's doing good there. But his field goal percentage that season was under 50%. He's shooting at, it looks like a 49.5%. He's given the 2 steals per usual. He's given about 4 assists. He's given about 6 rebounds, giving you the 30. So he's doing everything you expect of Jordan, and he's showing up in a playoffs like he always does. So it was just the fact that he did have so much help. You feel me? They had a record breaking season. That record did eventually get broken, but it was held on for a while. Everybody went crazy with the 72-10 Bulls. That lineup that they had, just it's ridiculous. But that's also why he's on a lower, why I have him ranked a little lower for this group, just based off the fact that he did have so much help. People can argue because Jordan was so dominant, he was so great, but we can't say that he did it alone. You feel me? We can't act as though he didn't have a lot of pieces, and that's what that Bulls group was able to do, bring a whole bunch of core pieces together with a common goal. You feel me? Everybody played their part. Jordan did the majority of the work offensively, but everybody else played their part where they needed to.
Well, I mean, and that's the 7th greatest as we got right now, 7th greatest MVP season all time, so it's not too low. But up next, and we're running time, so I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I'm gonna go 84 Bird. He was 24, 10, 7, 49%, 2 steals, a block. Yeah, they went 62 games. They had some struggles in the playoffs. They scraped by Magic's Lakers in 7. They also beat who was that in the second round? I forget how it goes. They either beat the Bucks in 5 and the Knicks in 7, or it was flipped. I'm pretty sure it was the Knicks they struggled with in the second round that year. It was yeah, but that's it. Just some struggles in the playoffs, lower stats. I got 84 Bird coming in next. That's the 6. All right, we're down to the top 5. Let's try to hurry this up because we only got so much time. 5 guys. Who you got next? Give it to me in about a minute.
Hey, who I got next? I got Kareem.
71.
I got Kareem with 71. He's giving you 31 points, 3 assists, 16 rebounds. He's leading the league in scoring. He's 4th in rebounds. Bucks also had the best record that season. It was the first MVP season for him with 66 and 16 as a record for the season. Really, it was just, I don't know. At this point, it's getting to a toss up for me. The reason why I have him, I don't want to necessarily say I have him as number 5, but he's just not the number 1 for me. I got a different number 1. Everybody after number 1 for me was kind of, I look at them, I view them all the same.
No, I get it. Yeah, it was. What I really like about that one, really quick, it's the 66 and 16. They beat, what was it, Lucas and Thurman with the Warriors. Then they beat, Baylor, Chamberlain, West, and then Unseld. So it was a lot of talent they ran through to win their title. So you got 71, him coming in next. I got to go 86 Bird after that. Arguably the greatest team of all time, the 86 Celtics. He went, 26, 10, and 7. 2 steals, 50% from the line. His blocks dropped. Like I said, they swept Bulls. That was the comment, that Michael Jordan's Jesus and sneakers, or God and sneakers, whatever he said. They beat the shit out of the Hawks in 5. Dominique swept the Bucks in 4. The young upstart Rockets with Hakeem and Ralph Sampson, got 2 games, and that was their best competition. Really what it is it's so weird because, like I said, you got to split hairs when we're at this point. It's just that he didn't beat the Lakers to do it. And that would have been the cream, and it might have elevated him to another level. So yeah, I got 86 Bird coming in next. We are down to the last 3. All right, who you got?
So I want to make sure that I got these numbers correct. Who I have is Moses Malone, 83. Just trying to make sure I have the right number.
Foe. Yeah, no, I got the numbers right here. I can pull it up. He was 25, 15, 2 blocks, 50%. It was 1 assist, 1 steal. And it was really more so the domination in the playoffs that really solidified it all. If you look at the playoffs, so check it out. 76ers, they got to the finals in 77. They got to the finals in 80s. They got to the final in 82, and they could never topple the Lakers or the Blazers. Last 2 with the Blazers. It was really, for me, what makes that so, and this has nothing to do with the regular season, but please watch it. It's the over the backs dunks that he used to do on Kareem going after offense. It was just the complete and utter domination of Kareem. He averaged 26 and 18 in the finals, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 50% from the line. And if you look at your boy Kareem, he held a 7'2" center playing 39 minutes a game to 7.5 rebounds. And he was out rebounded by Magic Johnson at 7.8. And Bob McAdoo got us. Oh, we got to talk about the 83 finals. When Bob McAdoo gets here, Bob McAdoo was getting him 7 boards in 21 minutes. So to me, it was just the complete domination of Kareem, who's arguably the greatest player of all time. That's why Moses Malone has one of the greatest finals to me, MVP seasons to me. How about you?
I mean, yeah, and he was able to also walk away with the finals MVP. So, when you get the league MVP and the finals MVP in the same season, you're within very small and great company. So
let's split them because I'm pretty sure me and you are going to have 2 different ones. I would have 91 Jordan as the second one, and I would have 67 Wilt as number 1 because, once again, 67, arguably the greatest team of all time, 24, 24, 8. 68% from the field. That's crazy, averaging 24 points. You're getting 68. The biggest reason why is ended the Celtics 8 straight years. I don't know how that couldn't be the number one MVP. You got 91 Jordan?
Yeah, I do have 91 Jordan. Now, if we're being real, it's crazy. When we talk about domination, Wilt and Jordan's domination is two different things. It's crazy. Wilt just physically was able to do things as far as dominating that Jordan was just not going to be able to do. Um, However, I applaud Jordan for able to overcome all the adversity that he went through with trying to get past them Eastern Conference teams that had been beating him up for years, that had been smacking him around, to finally come back and be like, take this New York 3-0, bam. Take this Sixers, you take this 4-1. Detroit, here, take this sweep. LA, here, you take this work too, 4-1. Also, this season, we got Jordan coming into his own as, I mean, he had already been showing people that he was going to be the greatest player, but
I
at
just want to
this
say
point,
this. The argument for Jordan in that season for me would be the finals performance. The 31 points, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, that's cool. That's about Jordan. But you think of the narrative of Jordan was a chucker and he was this. He was getting you 11 assists, about 11 and a half that series. He was getting you 3 steals, about a block and a half. He was shooting 56% from the field. He shot 50% from 3. Granted, he only went 2 for 4, but that's better than 1 for 4, 0 for 4. 85%. So really, that would be what was most impressive about that 91 Jordan season for me is that finals run.
yeah, I mean, he was just killing people. At this point, Jordan had decided, I'm gonna show everybody that I am the best player in the league, and y'all gonna respect it. And he was showing that he was willing to do whatever it took to win. Maybe I don't have to score as much for the whole season. I just got to show up in the playoffs. You feel me? What I was saying earlier, Jordan learned how to get his players and his team involved. This is the beginning of that.
So that's the end of the show today. Like I said, tomorrow we got Bobby Dandridge. Hey, you think we should crank it up tomorrow? Maybe we should go 0 to we should go from, like, you know, Drake went 0 to 100. We'll go 0 to
Real quick,
200. Yeah. We'll crank that up. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go 0 to 200.
Please don't make me laugh with that half-ass gimmick. I'm about to get mine and it's about time. Call us Grindhouse, everybody in a house grind. I'm just doing me, I ain't trying to outshine. Trying to kill my vibe is how you get outlined. I don't do it for the views and the likes, boy. I'm just giving you what I wrote last night, boy. I don't care if it isn't what you like, boy. My flow is fucking awesome, ain't it, white boy? Feeling fly.
hey, shout
Yeah,
out to Beauty.com.
yeah, it was.
You know,
So
my
anyways,
brother.
so please like, subscribe. Please check us out tomorrow. Like I said, for Bobby Dandridge. Until then, we will check y'all later. And then we out.
All
All
right,
right,
brother,
then.
thank you.